Morning. Happy Halloween to you all. Well, today is my last day of leave and then it's back to work. So I thought I'm going to take good full advantage of today and get this polytunnel sorted out. Now, I got this polytunnel in about December 2014. But I'd also taken on a new plot, so I couldn't really do much with it. And by the time we got into the season, I just had to run with the layout as it is, as you see it now. It's quite messy in here at the moment. There's a lot of stuff. A lot of the plants I've got up the back there, they're just out of shot. They're in here for over winter. But I'm determined to get these beds sorted out. Now, this season, as I said, I run with it, and it was like a forest in here. You couldn't move. And when you come in, I normally come in from the end that you're filming from. There's a double door. There's this bed right in the middle. It's a real pain in the backside. You can't get a wheelbarrow in here. There's like, you have to turn, and then I ended up with two little sort of tunnels just here and over there, where I could sort of like just crawl through and get to all the tomatoes and the other bits and pieces that I had growing in there. So it's a real nightmare. So what I'm going to do today, hopefully if I've got time, I want to get rid of this central bed, take it all out, scrape up all the wood chip that's on the floor that's been put down. There's membrane all through here as well, so I'm just going to lift the whole lot, clear it out, and I've treated the polytunnel to some new timbers to make a new one straight path straight through the middle, and that gives me then two beds that are about 15 feet wide, and they'll be about 5 feet wide across the middle. So that's the plan for the day. If I also get time, I'm going to be washing the inside of this polytunnel down with some J's fluid, diluted, and I'm just going to use my sprayer for that, just to apply it, and then a soft brush just to give it the once over on the inside. The outside, I'll wait until it's absolutely chucking it down with rain, because that just will rinse it off as I'm brushing the outside down. Always use a soft brush, not a stiff brush. You don't want to damage the plastic. So first job for me today is to clear out everything that's in here. I don't want to be tripping over stuff, and I don't want stuff in my way when I'm starting to dismantle these beds and take all these old timbers and stuff out. Incidentally, I'll try and salvage what I can and reuse it somewhere else on the plot. I might do a little flower garden for my little one, so these would be ideal. Okay, well, I'm going to crack on and drink the coffee and then make a start, and I'll come back when it's all cleared out, and then we'll do this bit by bit. Okay, so I've taken out all of the plants and bits and pieces that I can move out of the polytunnel now. There's that central bed. Incidentally, those there are the 3 Cape gooseberry bushes that basically filled the whole width of the centre. I mean, they went right the way up to the top, and they just overtook the whole polytunnel. Quite amazing, really, that from such a little seedling those 3 giants appeared. Over the back there's some aubergine. They're pretty much finished now. I've got 1 or 2 on there I'm going to harvest, and then I'll ditch them off and get rid of them. So that's pretty much all of it cleaned out. Now what I want to do is this stuff, which is on the path, I'm going to rake it back, get that membrane up, and I'm going to dig this because obviously it will form part of the bed, and it's important I dig it because I don't know what's underneath it, and I'm suspecting there's probably going to be a little bit of bindweed under there and a little bit of couch grass that's come in from outside the polytunnel. I did spot a little bit right over behind the toolbox there earlier on in the year, so there's a chance. So the next job then, rake all that back, pile it up, keep it, get the membrane up, and then it's on to removing all these kickboards that form the beds as they are at the moment. I'll come back when I've done that, and then you can see. That's that done. So I've got all the chippings up, put them over there. This is going to be an absolute pig to dig. It's rock hard. Later on, in the spring, you've got polytunnels like this, you have to rehydrate them. They dry out so quickly, and I mean, I'm absolutely sweating in here. Here we are on almost the cusp of November, and the thermometer up there is telling me 23.6 degrees Celsius, and the doors have been open. Crazy, but Now, I don't know if you remember earlier on, I had these three Cape gooseberries, and I was going to try and overwinter one just to see how it went. Well, unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. So, if I want them in there again next year, which I probably won't, they took over, then I can always sow some seeds and do it again. But have a look at that root structure. I mean, no wonder they got so big. It's incredible. And I mean, these, when they're in the ground, they're going out, look, out this far from the main plant, and the whole bed here was just yanking them up. So yeah, no wonder it got so big. But right, next job then is to get all these timbers away. I have spotted one slight problem. My plan was to run timbers all the way down. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet, but these doors need to be able to open. Now I can either have it so they just open to here, like so, or I'm going to have to run the board that I've got down and then dog leg it around to allow for that door to open into. And I'm going to do, if I do it, it'll be opposites each end because there's a door at each end. So I'm going to give that a little bit of thought. I haven't quite decided yet. I might just go with it just to open like that. I don't really need it to swing right the way back, and I can always use the space behind the door for growing. It really is just to be able to get wheelbarrows and things in there and just make it easier to walk straight through, because if you're carrying stuff like watering cans, you don't want to be twisting and turning too much. So right, I'm going to crack on and get that done. Next job, like I say, is get all this timber out. I might try and reuse some of these big thick posts. It depends how well they are underneath. They probably have rotted, so we'll see. Okay. Right then, we're ready to start getting these boards in place. Basically, this stuff is basically just the really cheap decking timbers that you can get from your local builders merchants. If you're going to use it, make sure you get it's got to be treated, alright, because otherwise it'll rot away in no time. It is only softwood. I'm expecting, if I get 5 years out of this, maybe a little bit longer, I'll be well happy with that. So what I've done is I've just chopped up a bit of battening, okay, and I've just nibbed the ends off to make it into a stake, which is quite apt really, considering it's Halloween. So yeah, any vampires come past here, they're getting that. So I've made a few of them up. I've offered up, put these just underneath there, underneath this board, and I've pre-drilled the holes just using a little drill bit that's slightly smaller in diameter than the actual screws that I'm going to be using. Alright, and then the next thing I've done is I've used one of them, which is a countersink tool, and that just basically pops in the end of your drill, and it gives it, it rebates back a little bit of the timber, and that allows it to receive the head of the screw, so it ends up nice and flush. You don't have to do it, and with this, if your drill is sort of man enough, it'll probably push that screw through it anyway, because it is only softwood, but that's just me. Right, let's get this assembled, and then hopefully we can get on with this and get it done. I want to conquer them. Incidentally, these are 2.4 metres long and they're 11 centimetres wide, and the stakes are double the in length, double the width of this. So that gives me plenty. There's plenty to stake in the ground, and I'll say this is quite hard. I'm going to go out of shot here for a minute while I do this end. Bear with me. Excellent. Right, don't need that. Now, I've strung a line down because I want to obviously have this nice and straight. There's no point in me putting it this side of the door, because once I've got all this dug over and then mulched, it'll end up just rotting this post out. So I want this to protect that both ends. Alright. Now I've got no idea if this is going to go in or not, because like I said earlier in the video, the ground is pretty solid, and I've pre-drilled here in the middle another 2 holes and countersunk them, and I've done that just in case, because what I don't want is there's a little bit of flex in that. So once this is in, I've got the option of whacking another stake down and just screwing it straight into place, and it'll really firm that up. So I'm just going to offer this up now. I want it to about there. That looks pretty good. Right. Just right, I'm going to stop there. Alright. I'm going to do the other end as well. And just hammer them in together. So not just one, do a little bit this end, a little bit that end. Right, string's getting caught underneath that, so that needs to come out. See that timber's got a very slight twist in it, but to be fair I'm not bothered. Right, I want to continue and get both sides done and finished, and then it's a case of just digging it over, levelling it and getting the mulch put back on. I have decided I'm just going to run it straight through to the door. I'm not going to do this dog leg to accommodate the door swing. Don't think I need it, and I've tested it. I can get a wheelbarrow through there with the door just at 90 degrees to the back frame. So yeah, it gives me, and it maximises my growing space as well. So right, I'm going to crack on. In fact, no, I'm not. I'm going to go and get myself a coffee because I need one. Alright, see you in a bit. Well, I was right. This stuff's like concrete. And that's basically because it's the pathway's never been watered. Back in the summer I had 2 hanging baskets each side. And obviously when you fill them up, the water came to about here. And funny enough, I found loads of bindweed right there. So up this end it's quite damp, but in general where this path was, it's like concrete. So what I'm going to have to do is throughout the winter, I'm going to come up and I'm going to keep this really quite damp. So I will be watering the mulch. There's going to be nothing in it. I'm not planning on growing in here over this winter. We've got far too many other things that I need to get done. So it's a case of time management really. So the next job then, I'm going to use this. You've seen this before in one of the, not this particular head, but again it's a Wolfgarten tool. I can't remember the name of it for the life of me. 3-prong something or other. But if you want to know what it is, go on the website. Have a look at the toolbox. There's a tab there, and you'll find that one under the tools section. Again, standard Wolfgarten fixing. Knock it in there. And what I want to do is, I know that this side, which is the actual bed, has had loads of good compost and stuff put in it. This clearly has had nothing in it. It's very, very, looks like hard clay. So this is going to need quite a bit of conditioning, and especially with these sort of roots in there. I don't want that. So all I'm going to do is just drag this bed over on top of that one. Okay. Also, it's going to help me level it out a little bit. When I've done the same to this side, I shall then dig this bed and split it between the two. Alright. Again, I'll rake it over, and then the last job is I'm going to use exactly the same mulch as I'm going to apply to the raspberry beds when they come next week. I went and got an extra trailer load of that, so I've got plenty, and then I'm going to bring that all right up to this level, both sides. I'll then put a membrane down through the path, which I've got. I'll use the same membrane as I had on the beds last year. It works a treat. And then all that wood chip that came from around the original paths, I'll just pile in the middle, and that's it. Job's a good one. I'll be quite happy with that. There's no way I'm going to get this polytunnel cleaned today. It's getting too late in the day, and I'm knackered. Right, anyway, I'll just do a little bit of this and then we'll cut it there, and then I'll come back when it's both sides are finished. So, great tool. It breaks it up as it goes, and you pull it through like that. Pull out that little plastic there. Be careful when you go near the edges. You don't want to damage the poly. What have we got in there? good old cane. Right. If you do spot any weed, I mean a lot of this is the roots from the tomatoes that I had growing here. I mean I've only just recently pulled them all out, so I'm not fussed about them at all. They'll just rot down eventually. Right, that's it. We'll cut it there, and then you'll come back in a minute. Well, a minute, about an hour, when I'm done, and we'll see how we go. Well, that's it. That's a good job done. The bad news is that I've now not got enough mulch for the raspberries, so I'm going to have to go and get more. Oh well, such is life. It never ends, does it? Well, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that today. I'm going to cut it off there. Wish you all the best. Have a good Halloween. Stay safe. If you're lighting fireworks soon. And I'll finish by giving you a quick squiz of what I've been doing today. Okay, see you in the next one.